Now, it's been a tough year for Damon Hill. He's mostly been struggling as Arrows rebuild the team, but he's had those two very impressive drives at Silverstone and at Hungary. But now, at last, the top drive that he's been looking for, he's got it.
Well, I think it was the obvious move, actually. Jordan have the Honda engine. They're probably the most together option that Damon had, given Prost moving factory and Arrows developing a new engine. So he's moving away from the Bridgestone tyres, of course, which he may well regret. Depends how they take to the new regulations next year. But anyway, James Allen has been following the story so far.
As always with driver movements, Damon Hill's plans for 1998 have been surrounded by rumour and counter-rumour. 2 weeks ago when we left Monza, he was connected with Benetton, Arrows, Prost and Jordan, but in reality he only had eyes for one team. He arrived here in Austria in a mood to celebrate. First, his 37th birthday.
I hope I get a good drive next year. Well, I'm not supposed to say anything, am I?
But 24 hours later at a press conference, he was able to come clean.
Needless to say, I'm absolutely delighted. And I'm not just reading that off here, I do mean that.
So come on then, Eddie. How and when was the deal struck?
I would say this was struck, to be serious for a second, it was struck a long time ago. I suppose even going back a year, we've been keeping in touch, either social occasions or other occasions, but around Magny-Cours was the first time that we got involved. Damon then spoke to the people from Mugen Honda, then spoke to Mr. Honda direct. We talked about various, and it just kept rolling along.
Damon, with the events of the last week, the driving moves that have happened, to the outside world it might look as though this was Hobson's choice for you, your last run, but that obviously isn't the case.
No, I think that's the way it was made to look by some of the topspin that was put on the story. And in actual fact, I was able to make a choice for the first time in my career, a choice of some very select teams and some very competitive teams, and I ultimately chose Eddie because I believe that it will give me the right environment to get the best out of myself, and also to get that last little bit out of the Jordan operation, which I believe has got enormous potential.
So Eddie, the deal was struck with Damon coming back from Monza, but the following week you then had the Fisichella case. I mean, if you'd won that, you wouldn't have been able to run him. How would that work?
Well, that's not exactly true. It didn't say I had to run Fisichella. It might have made it easier to negotiate a more beneficial financial settlement, but I don't want to bring finance into it. That's completely wrong. Damon knew exactly where he was.
The truth of the matter is I've got to look, possibly this being my last 2 years in Formula One. I don't know. I might drive until I'm, Fangio's age or something, but I certainly want to give my best shot, and also to be driving for a British team or even an Anglo-Irish team, as I probably should call it.
I won't interfere in these political aspects.
Well, one thing's for sure, guys, we're going to have some great rock and roll parties next year.
Rock and roll parties should be awesome. We'll have to learn a few of the lines or a few of the words are pretty vague.
You have to learn the whole thing, I think.
Should be good. Thanks a lot.
Well, that's good news for Damon. It's good news for Formula One. It's great news for Britain because everybody wants to see Damon do well.